what really bothers me is that um, they that is the SRO manager and one of the security people who also does the garbage, that they they harshly criticize me. They make fun of me for having garbage in my room, and my room smelling bad and being dirty, and not what, but they're the reason why this is the case. They don't let me throw my garbage out. They don't let me clean my room. Um, they, um, the security person he's been coming. He's almost every day he's been banging on the wall. Um, Sometimes he goes all the way around the room, like he bangs on multiple walls. To happen at least once, he banged on walls on that wall. That is on the there's a bathroom that's on the other side of this wall I'm pointing at. Um, and he goes into the bathroom when he comes by to get the garbage around 4:30 p.m. From the floor, and he goes into the bathroom and he bangs on the wall, um, and it causes things to fall in my room. Like he bangs really hard and stuff falls onto the floor. Um, the, you can hear the walls crumble. Like there's like I don't know, it's plaster or mortar. Cement. It falls off the walls onto the floor. But also my stuff falls off the shelves onto the floor into a big mess. It makes it really, really difficult. Makes it very. It's hard. It's hard to know how much. See, often I find things on the ground, and I don't know how they got on the ground. I don't know when it's because he's been banging on the walls or not, and he does it specifically to harm me, to attack me. Um, and I shouted, "Stop doing that! You're causing the walls to crumble. You're causing my stuff to fall onto the ground and get broken and become a big mess." And he keeps doing it. Um, um, I found I had a container over by the sink. I had a container that it's like one of these containers. I have a lot of these containers, screw tops. It doesn't have a gasket, but it has a screw top. Um, well, I had bleach. I had bleach and water in one. Um, I was trying to bleach it, and I had bleach and water in it, and it was over by my sink, um, and it tipped over. If I found it on the floor under the sink, and the bleach it's spilled out. Um, I don't I don't remember knocking it over myself. It's very possible it was knocked over by him banging on the walls. I didn't get a video of him doing it, and I didn't see it happen. But I don't know how else it fell on the ground because it was filled up. It was filled up about 3/4 of the way with bleach and water. Mostly water. No, it was. I don't know. I don't know what percentage of bleach it was, but there was high percentage of bleach, and bleach is not something healthy for you to inhale. That is, it spilled onto the ground, and I didn't know it was leaking under the sink. I didn't know the bleach and water were spilling onto the floor. I didn't discover it for many hours before I discovered it. Many hours. I don't know how long. But I was in the room that whole time. I was in here. For the vast majority of the time that bleach was spilling into the room, and the fumes were being released, and if it was a normal home, where which was clean, where you could clean and you could things were orderly, I would be able to see if there was a spill. Like if it was a kitchen and a bottle of bleach, or a bottle with bleach in it, or a jar with bleach in it spilled onto the kitchen floor, fell onto the kitchen floor. When you went into the kitchen, you would see that the jar was on the floor, because there wouldn't be other stuff on the floor. You'd be able to see it. You pick it up and you deal with it. But I can't. I don't have that option. I don't have the ability in such a small room where there's so much. Where there's always this mess. It's just like it's like there's always a big mess in here. I'm not able to clean it, and they from the first day I moved in, the first time I took out the garbage, within minutes, he was banging on my door. It wasn't when I was in this room. It was in the old room, 412. He came to my door immediately after I took garbage to the garbage room, and banged on my door, harassing me for throwing out trash. I've never had a landlord harass me or say anything to me about trash I threw out. I never had that problem ever with a landlord. In any of the homes in any of the apartments I lived in, or any of the houses I lived in, I never had a problem. Or in the SROs I lived in. Well, I haven't lived in other SROs nearly as long as I lived in this one. I've only lived in other SROs very briefly. I've been here for years now. But I've never seen or had a landlord give me a hard time about throwing out my trash. And they're always here. They're always here. He's always here. Like I've never had a landlord that was so much overbearing and ever present. It's always there's 2 security cameras outside my door. Now, I've been told by security, that they don't actually cover my door, the cameras that are right outside my door. Last night, when I got home, there was part of the broken dresser that I dumped on the street was leaning against my door, on the outside. I put it into the garbage can, knowing that it would probably be put back into my room or end up against my door. I didn't have a choice at the time, because it was in one of my garbage cans, and I had to get the garbage out. Well, what doesn't make sense to me is that, well, when I got home, I discovered the wood was was against my door, The plan was I was just going to take it out to the street and dump it next to a city trash can, when I had a chance. Like, when I had a chance to put gloves on or put something, cover the wood so I wouldn't get splinters. But I was only in my room maybe less than 5 minutes last night after getting home before the other person who does security in the building, she came up and told me that so and so had just called her and told her that he saw the wood was still in the hallway. He lives on the second floor. He lives on the second floor. I live on the fourth floor. I suppose it's possible he like tiptoed up here from the second floor, tiptoed up here, like walked up the stairs on tiptoes, and that's why I didn't hear him walking to the hallway and seeing the wood was outside my door, but I can't see him tiptoeing up here up the couple flights of stairs to do that. I think it's more likely that he saw that the wood was in the hallway, because he is able to see my door with the security cameras. When I first moved in here, I'm trying not to use anybody's names because I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube. Try not to use anybody's names. So it's something I try not to use people's names in public or period without their consent. But anyway, when I first moved into the building, the property manager, the hotel manager, she was often in the front office, but we don't see her anymore. This was like, it was like 10 years ago that I first moved in. She was often in the front office, and you go in and talk to her about problems, but she's never seen. I hardly ever see her in the front office. But sometimes, person who buzzes people in, who works in the front office now, she has to take a break, and when she does that, I still get buzzed in from the front door. That is, after on a couple occasions I've gotten buzzed into the building after ringing the bell, and I went straight to the front office, and there was nobody in there. Because of this, I believe that they have another video feed in a back office. That is, I believe that the cameras actually, they don't just feed the monitor that's in the front office, but that there's another monitor in the back office with a buzzer so that they can buzz people in and monitor the building from the back office. I was I just opened the door and I was pointing my finger at the graffiti that was written on my door by somebody that's been harassing me in the building for years. Who well the writing is right on my door, though they just recently painted yellow paint over it. I think it's primer. I think it's primer. I think they're preparing to paint the whole hallway. But after after the person graffitied my door here in room 404, I told the security who watched the video cameras, the monitors, that he wrote on my door, and they told me that he didn't write on my door, that nobody wrote on my door, but the writing's right on my door. It says stop. It looks like he wrote. He wasn't sure whether to write stop dialing me or stop calling me. It's like I can't tell if it says stop dialing me or stop calling me. But it says stop something me. The security of the building, they're supposed to. I mean, it's coming out of our rent. I pay rent here, so I pay their salaries. They're supposed to be, presumably, they're supposed to be providing security for me. So if someone writes on my door, or someone breaks into my room and steals something, or someone attacks me physically, it'd be nice if those video cameras would actually be utilized to help make that make the justice happen that really should happen. That is, help me see justice. Help make sure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. But the hotel, they don't they seem to have that perspective that it's not really, the cameras are not something that, camera footage is not something that is supposed to help the people who live here. I don't know who it's supposed to help, but maybe it's for them. I don't know. But having two security cameras right outside my room, when I only have a single room, that have microphones in them, it's a big invasion of privacy. We're giving up civil liberties by having cameras in our home. We should get something out of that. We shouldn't give up our privacy, not get anything back in return, and really not getting anything back in return, I don't think. The reason I say I believe there's microphones in the cameras is because when I lived down the hall in 412, I was having a conversation with somebody in the hallway, just talking with them, and the person who does security in the office came up and started harassing me, yelling at me, threatening me. I don't remember what he said. I don't know if he threatened me that time, like, because there was another person there I was talking to. But I asked him, how could you hear us? Are there microphones in the cameras? And he answered the affirmative. I think he said yes. I don't know if he said yes or nodded his head, but he indicated that there were that he was able to not just see us but also hear us downstairs. How long's the video? 20 minutes.